Good morning, Mikey, Misty.
Good morning, Ike.
I was hoping you'd go with Mikey Ike. It'd be pretty funny.
Ikey Mikey?
I'll take it.
I like Ikey Mikey, actually.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Or good evening.
Or good afternoon.
Or good night.
Or good night. Just like Jim Carrey said.
That's right. It's Nintendo Day.
I'm excited. It's because this was the day in history that Nintendo was founded.
This is the day.
How old do you think Nintendo is?
Well, I have some pretty cool information about that.
It's super old.
It's wicked old. Nintendo was founded in 1889.
Yeah, September 23rd, 1889.
But before we give you any more facts about how cool Nintendo is, we're going to play our super cool intro.
Are we ready to begin?
Good morning!
My name is Misty.
Come on, Ike, it's time.
We would be honored if you would join us.
The greatest adventure of all time.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Come on, let's get in character.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Oh, come on!
That was cool. I like that song.
I like it too.
Welcome back to Nintendo
It's almost
Day.
as catchy as a Nintendo song like Mario.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
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 When you fall into the turtle pit.
Do you know what the word Nintendo means?
I don't. Does anybody?
Nope.
Oh!
As a one-time
Okay.
manufacturer of simple diversions like cards and other handheld items, Nintendo was widely thought to have chosen its name as a reference to good fortune. Quotes, leave luck to heaven, you can read along with me, was one common interpretation. Nin means let someone do, while do can mean a temple or sanctuary. But since no archival material from their inception survived, no one can be completely certain what founder, good luck with this one.
Fusujiro Yamauchi.
Thank you. You're in charge of names from now on.
Okay.
Had in mind.
Hiroshi Yamauchi.
The Nintendo president, who passed away in 2013, once said that while the explanation was a reasonable guess, even he had no real idea what
Nintendo.
was in reference to. It's so funny.
So I think it's really cool because the guy started out selling hand-painted playing cards. So essentially, he didn't just start Nintendo. He started Pokemon.
Oh. Did he really?
No, but
Oh.
I mean, that's kind of Pokemon started as cards.
Well, should we Google who started trading cards?
I don't know. But they went through a whole bunch of different iterations before video gaming. They once sold ramen noodles and also decided to try out a taxi service.
Oh, wow.
I think that's hilarious.
Nintendo. Is that why there's taxis in all of their games?
Maybe. That would make sense. Are there noodles in all their games?
Potentially.
Noodles.
Trading cards were invented in the 1850s by Louis Prang, an enterprising German immigrant to the United States.
Okay. So a little earlier.
Yep.
A little earlier.
Yep. Nintendo was late to the game.
Apparently.
Let's
So
see.
they were called Hanafuda cards.
Ah.
A type of Japanese playing card. It was then called Nintendo Kopai. And it was started in, I believe, I'm trying to remember what part of Japan.
What?
I'm trying to remember what part of Japan it was actually started in. I think it was Osaka, maybe.
I mean, it's not a big island.
It's not very big at all.
I've never been there, but
It's fun. I love Japan.
you know that Duck Hunt was originally released back in 1976.
What?
There's a video here.
Tell
Let's
me
see if
more
we can.
about that.
I'm gonna see if I can play this video. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm gonna try and play it without the audio.
Kyoto is where it was founded.
Aha.
Sorry. Known most for the cherry blossoms.
This is a what are they saying?
It was released in 1976.
Whoa, look how
designed
old it
by
looks.
Look at that.
Gunpei Yokoi, who was a famous
Cool.
Nintendo designer from the 60s.
I'm just gonna turn the audio off so I don't get
Yeah.
kicked off. But you're
Yeah.
still watching along. This is the original box to Duck Hunt. Let me skip forward.
What came inside of it? Did it have the gun in it?
Yeah, it had the gun and then a little projector. And if you're just listening, you're gonna want to flip over to the video. There's like a.
That looks like a toilet.
I think it looks
Or a
like
piano.
like those overhead projectors from like 8th grade.
Or that too. I'm so confused.
Yeah. Oh, here's video. Is it Wednesday?
What did you play it on though? Like
I think just against the wall.
Oh, like a projection.
Yeah. Weird.
Interesting.
Super weird. I want to get one.
Do you want to pop it up onto my screen? Because I have a picture of what the cards looked like.
Whoa.
That's what Nintendo started with.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're cards made out of stiff paper. And they were playing cards. So, yeah.
Stiff Paper, the name of our new album.
Stiff little fingers.
Stiff Paper. ROB, the robot, was a Nintendo Trojan horse.
Wait, what? What's ROB?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
After launching their Famicom family computer in Japan in 1983, Nintendo considered partnering with Atari to distribute the console in America under the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, name, but Atari's financial crash gave their brand a scarlet letter, leaving many retailers selling their products at a loss. To combat the widespread video game resentment that followed, Nintendo of America, NOA, decided to market the NES as a home entertainment system. They included the Zapper and a robot named Rob that would react to the action on screen. In reality, ROB was prone to malfunctioning and only worked with 2 titles, but his presence was enough to convince both stores and consumers that this wasn't another bust. The ploy worked. After a successful test in the market in the Northeast in 1985 and 1986, sales of the NES soared to over 6 million, along with 33 million games sold in 1988.
Do you want to see the guy that helmed the company when they transitioned from playing cards over to video games?
What's his name?
His name is Hiroshi Yamauchi. Yeah.
He was old in 92.
Oh, you know what? No, this is the guy that took over after Fusahiro Yamauchi died in 1940. He was the guy that transitioned things over from playing cards into other things.
Right.
And then this was his grandson, who was the one who was like, yeah, let's do video games.
And that picture, it says, was taken in
1992.
Correct.
Yeah. So he stayed at the helm of Nintendo for 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how much he's worth.
A lot.
I'm going to Google it in a second. But did you know that...
do we have to stare at his old head?
No, sorry. Okay. You can look at our old heads.
I was he's a kind of scary looking guy.
I'm not so good on the switchers.
Yes, you are.
If you live in Los Angeles and you would like to intern at the Misty and Ike program, please send us an email.
Come on down, please.
Yeah, we'll train you. We're just looking for free labor. We will pay you in liquid death. Which, if you don't know what that is, and you're just listening,
right?
It is a brand of sparkling and still water that has sponsored another show that we work on here at Brickyard Media Group, and boy, is it delicious.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know what one of the first offshoot businesses were that for Nintendo before gaming?
Let me see if I can read it on your screen and make myself look intelligent. A Love Hotel?
Where you could rent rooms by the hour.
Hello.
Brown chicken, wow, wow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, wow, wow.
That is, in my experience from going to South America, hotel. Basically. Or the way it was proposed to me when I went to South America was that a lot of people lived together in small rooms.
Okay.
So the family, if they needed private time, they would rent. Like married people would rent.
Oh, that's very interesting. I've never heard that, but that completely makes sense.
It's the family version of the rent by the hour.
When they need to go and make another baby, they go and rent by the hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not always.
Okay, so it's not always salacious.
It's not always for ladies and gentlemen of the evening.
There's, you know what? More power to ladies and gentlemen of the evening. Sex workers it is a completely valid line of work.
It is.
It is.
Have you ever paid for it?
No,
this is a total offshoot.
It's completely fine. I'll be honest with you. No, lately I've been thinking about it a lot.
Wow, I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. A robot, an ROB robot,
a Rob robot.
Yes.
No, I haven't. Have you?
I can say with all certainty that I have never paid for a sex act.
Good. Yeah. I'm proud of you that you can say that.
I can't say for certainty that I will live out the remainder of my days with a 0 record. I feel like when I'm very old, it might just be a round of golf and a massage and then back to the house.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with a little rub and tug.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing it in a reputable place and making sure that everyone there is being taken care of properly.
Yes, and I'm going to wait till it's legal.
Thank you. Yes.
And I'm 80.
Yes.
So we have 40 years to pass the new legislation.
Can you not call me when you do it and tell me that you did it?
Oh, we'll be on episode 57 million by then. So I'll be in there getting taken care of. And then I'll be like, what do you want to talk about next Thursday?
Oh, God.
How did Nintendo take us to sex work?
Well, because it was their offshoot business.
Yep.
Renting rooms. So here's the thing. According to the book Nintendo, the company and its founders by Mary Firestone, Yamachi was known for his affairs, and since other hotels in Japan at that time only booked rooms for the night, he decided to open his own, one where he was a frequent guest. Ooh. So he did open it for the Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
It did very well, according to this lady's book, and ultimately it shut down because of his desire to explore other rising industries.
Boo. Boo, Misty.
So good.
That's low-hanging fruit right there.
So good.
I'll give it to you.
That is just really good. Come on now.
Okay.
Other rising industries.
Well, moving right along, did you know that Nintendo's Mario is their most famous character?
Yeah, our favorite plumber.
Yes. Second favorite plumber. I'm a plumber.
Okay. Sure.
I'm only a plumber on
Tuesdays and every other Thursday.
No, that other show that I go on. They think I'm a plumber.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
What is it called? The Unsolicited?
Yeah, it's called The Unsolicited. Yes.
Nintendo's Mario was purposely low tech.
Okay.
Here we go again with Ike Reads for a second.
Okay.
Legendary Nintendo game designer. Oh, sorry. You got to see it.
Oh. Shigeru Miyamoto.
Drafted an iconic game character in
I still can't see it.
Mario, the plumber, and occasionally referee, doctor, and race car driver, who saves damsels in distress in Donkey Kong and his own Mario Brothers series. But his look wasn't solely the result of artistic inspiration. The familiar mustache and hat were added because the technology of the era allowed for so few pixels on screen. With his white gloves, a player could see his arms move. A hat covered up his hair that couldn't be adequately rendered. If you don't know what rendering is, it's when a computer has to think a ton while you sit there and stare at a wheel spin around and waste all of your afternoon when you're trying to edit.
Yep, I've learned that since we started this podcast here.
Yes.
I'm super into all of these offshoot businesses that they had. Do you want to know what the last one was? This is real funny to me.
Okay.
The last unsuccessful venture in the 60s was an instant rice company. Once again, Yamachi ultimately decided to focus on the company's historic roots in gaming. So, here's a picture of a girl working in the factory holding a box of chicken ramen, the first ever instant noodle.
What?
It failed, so they got out of the business. Other people went on later to launch instant ramen, which we all know and have eaten throughout college.
Can you believe that? What if you had invented the
first ever instant noodles?
Right.
They had them.
But
It was part of Nintendo.
What if you invented the microwave and there was like, nah, and then 5 years later someone else invented the microwave? They were like, everybody has to have one.
Right.
Like, wait, guys.
And you're just like, wait, hold up. Like, I did that.
We wouldn't have Nintendo if the noodles worked out.
Right. If they had worked out at that exact moment in time, people were like, yeah, I want an instant noodle. I don't want to have to cook my noodles extra long. I want to cook them in half the time.
My sister might appreciate this one.
Okay.
NES, Nintendo almost released an NES knitting machine.
What?
Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's like a loom.
Yeah, you plug it into your
and you
thing.
plug it into your machine.
Now you're knitting with power.
Oh my gosh, my friend Julie would kind of probably be into that.
Let's see here. From a late 1980s on Facebook demonstrated the company was playing with the idea of knitting machine peripheral that could be attached to the NES.
That's
the add-on
super
and the
fun.
design cartridges were apparently met with a tepid reception during an industry event and never released.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Huh. It makes sense to me as I'm starting to kind of read through some of this. So video arcades were like huge in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where Nintendo, they didn't release initially to take your gaming systems into your homes. Mm-hmm. They released their games into arcades.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
That's super cool. So do you remember if you got stuck on a game, you used to be able to call the Nintendo hotline?
I do.
Well, in 1990,
That was our version of cheat codes.
yeah, it got so popular that in 1990, the Captain Nintendo Hotline was an 800 number service that provided tips, but the overwhelming number of calls forced Nintendo to convert it to a 900 toll service by 1990.
They were real good at that, charging by the minute and the hour.
I mean, the number was blowing up. Game counselors could talk kids through difficult spots, but also found themselves being asked questions about school, or in the case of old gamers, marriage issues. The company eventually capped calls at 7 minutes to avoid inadvertent therapy sessions.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not going to get in trouble if you call the Nintendo number versus a regular 1-900 number back then,
Yeah.
you know?
But, your parents get the bill for that 900 number.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Man, there's a whole lot more we could talk about.
There is, but we're at time already.
Yeah, we had to do
There's
that
so much to know.
separate.
So
We'll do a part 2
next year. We'll do part 2 of Nintendo because this was a good one.
And we'll probably do some sex work stuff, too. In that episode.
Oh, I was like, let's maybe talk about that offline because I don't feel comfortable with you and I
broadcasting our side sex work gigs.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Go ahead and call 1-900-MISTY. I don't.
That's too many numbers.
No, it's not. Misty's not enough numbers. MISTY.
Okay, then it's
There's
not enough numbers. Oh God.
Okay, well now we can't wrap this till we figure out Misty and 3 other words. I figured it out. Okay, we gotta go. I gotta tell you offline. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.